Well, this is the Arrive Alive, and of course now in particular we are looking at the bikers, Boda Boda operators. Just so long as you're on a two-wheeler or three-wheeler, the question is, are we being, are we harassing those on the bikes? Are we being are we exercising some double standards on ensuring there's road safety? Mr. David here says we're using the Boda Boda operators or the bikers as a quick fix, he's still here saying as a scapegoat. And when you were mentioning the expressway, I don't know if it is already, assented, or if it is just a proposal that we keep the two-wheelers and three-wheelers off the expressway. Where is this coming from? What could have been the reasoning behind it, and how do you feel about it? Yes.
Guys were posting bikes which are available in Kenya. I want to mention brands.
Yes.
Costing 4.5M, 5M, and so on. They are talking about stability. What stability? My bike does 320K. That's the top on the clock. How many cars do that? And it's an old bike. Some of the newer bikes. Okay? Actually, what I'm riding right now at one point was the fastest civilian motorcycle. I'm not going to say that brand, not doing a promo. So why am I not on the expressway? You can't catch me. Okay? Why one of my bikes has a number plate, KMCU, which we laughed and said the CU means I pass you and it's CU. So why aren't I allowed to use the expressway? And anyway, bikes don't cause jam. So since you're going to charge for the expressway, you can stay with your expressway. We don't need it. Okay. Let guys who are going to go up there, as we have no jam, you see? When we lane split, we don't have jam. Now you find somebody saying, okay, let all bikes, and this one I always advise, when you're riding a bike, stick in the middle of the lane.
Yes. All right.
Okay? Except when traffic is moving and you are like on a highway. Then move to the side so that people can pass.
Which side?
To your left.
Okay.
So that people can pass if you're not able to go fast enough. Also going too slow is also a problem. And in fact, many places abroad even, you find there's an upper and lower speed limit for certain roads. So like you're on a highway, you're not going to go on a highway doing 30 unless there's something wrong and you're looking for a place to pull over. So again, bottom line, why are we being used as scapegoats? They can't handle matatus, they can't handle saloon cars and etc. And yet we're paying tax. Why can't I go in the CBD? People go up country. You're talking about crime. Muggings, even my drinking days, how many times was I mugged? By guys on foot. Are you telling me
pedestrians?
There are no pedestrians still snatching ladies' chains and what? In the CBD, okay? So crime is being done on foot, on bicycles, on bikes, on cars, and so on. These guys who stop cash in transit armored vehicles and rob them, Ponyoka na pickup. Have we ever said that, no, now we are going to ban? And the former minister Mishuki now made it mandatory that they must be escorted with a vehicle with armed policemen, which was just increasing. Did those stop? So imagination is what you need to fight crime.
All right.
Okay? So tomorrow, and I use the example of alcoholics. I'm a recovering alcoholic.
Yes.
And there's a favorite example I use, which I think is very appropriate here.
All right.
You are at Kencom bus stop, going to Ngong. You're waiting for an 11.
As a pedestrian or?
Yes, you're waiting for
passenger,
a bus.
Okay.
Yes, a passenger.
Yes.
Then there are two alcoholics. There's 500 people there. Two are alcoholics. So one is coming, hey, sweetie, sasa, what, generally just being a nuisance. The other one is talking all manner of dirty things. This is two guys out of 500 who have drunk at that bus stop, going to Ngong. Then you reach Ngong. As you get off, there's 500 guys who have all drunk, waiting to come to Nairobi. Two of them are alcoholics.
Oh, okay.
Sweetie. So four alcoholics out of 1,000 people who have drunk. And you go to your house telling your spouse, hey, Kenya is full of alcoholics. This is 4 out of 1,000. So because they are thieves or
use
crooks
bikes?
who use bikes. There are no thieves who use cars. There are no politicians who are thieves.
All right, Controller WB here is saying tuned from Kibera. And of course, there's a question that has come in saying maybe the question is that the majority of the crimes have been done by Boda Boda riders. Maybe they're saying the majority. And that's where they're saying it's
Kenyans, we like talking without statistics. I've just given you a typical example. 2 guys here out of 400, 2 guys are here out of 500, 4 guys out of 1,000, you go saying. See, there are police reports. Okay? When we were stripping ladies, at you addressed badly, were those Boda Boda guys or Matatu touts? When they were stripping ladies in Matatus, when they were raping ladies in Matatus, I'm talking about Matatus, not private cars.
Okay.
Private car you saw the other day on Thika Highway.
Yes.
Kidnap. Which the police are saying it was a disagreement. What if that lady fell out of that car? What if they hit another road user who was trying to help them? Kidnap. Nobody's talking about that. That's another lady in terror.
All right.
By a private guy. Apparently, if it's your boyfriend, it's okay, I kidnap you, terrorize you, drive crazily on the highway. Nobody says anything. That one's all right. If I grab you in a matatus which go around to date. The other day they beat some ladies who are working from Citizen TV on Gong Road after they had done a mess. So they come out, they're filming. They come to us, nothing happens. And I can give you countless examples even of the last 2 days, let alone 2 years or 20. How long have I been riding since 78 on 2 continents? So unless we change the attitude, get bikers registered. This is a very good thing.
Yes.
And I'm really thanking President Uhuru. He has said no payment of whatever. Get guys registered. That's a good thing. And while you are registering, I think I will say this. Can NTSA check on my bike license? Why I have never got it ever since getting my license in Kisumu. Always my stamp for motorcycles. It got lost. I don't know where it is. I've gone since long before even NTSA existed. We're sorting. That's how many years of riding, since 78.
This is actually what your decry is
And,
this morning.
yeah,
Yes.
nobody seems to care about us.
Okay.
Nobody seems to care about us. So God looks after those who look after themselves. If you cannot, you see that lady's terror on Forest Road. Bikers go through this every day. Bikers are like policemen. When you leave the house, let your kids not argue with you. Let your spouse not argue with you. Let your girlfriend, boyfriend not argue with you. Because we are like policemen, a biker. They don't know if you are coming back. Now, is riding supposed to be fun? Or are we supposed to, it's just, Paka, you get blood pressure. How many people do I know have quit? How many have not started? Especially ladies. Because they just pima and they say, How many ladies have shown me the middle finger? And she's the one who just drove in through a stop sign.
Because she's in a car?
Because she's in a car. And yet, it is God and experience. You see, but young people is kifua. Young people know it's old guys who die. Guys like us who die. So the lady is coming in and then they'll just come. You see, a Boda Boda is just coming full speed. Okay? On the cycling lane. Somebody can open a door. Somebody's anything can happen.
But now, Mr. David...
But they feel invincible.
I'm looking at all the things you have said, and they're really happening. We see them even in media. And now someone would be asking, how then can we change this narrative, this attitude? And like you've said, we're using people on bikes as a scapegoat, yet there is crime that is committed by almost every other road user. You've mentioned the pedestrian, you've mentioned the pillions and the bikers, you mentioned the matatus. You've said most of these people who are not on the bikes get away with it. You've also mentioned the aspect of attitude. And these are things that we have always talked about. And now that you have quite, detailed, you've mentioned a lot of things. I'm looking at what would be your recommendations today to first the authorities you've mentioned and commended them for. And if, in fact, the DL is a discussion today at Matri Roots from yesterday. People are complaining of the same issue as yours. Years down the line, you're saying you're working on it.
Yes.
There are people are asking, do you have to pay 3,050 shillings? Someone is asking if someone has to pay 3,050 Kenya shillings as they're applying. So all these things are clarifications that many Kenyans are asking. But I will of course check with the NTSA as well as we
They go to Huduma centers between now and June with your ID, KRA PIN, and your phone number. You have to have a phone, a line in your name.
You have to have a phone.
Driving license and one other is optional. So right now, between 28th and June something, I'm trying to remember the exact date, present yourself at any of the 40-something Huduma centers with your ID, KRA, and a phone number in your name. And you are going to get registered for a digital DL.
Have you received yours?
I haven't gone.
You haven't gone?
Yes, I need them just to sort mine out from 1978.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. I'm trying to decide whether to. I said let's do that. Yes.
Okay.
And they say I don't know where my paperwork got lost. Yes.
All right.
You see?
So those are some of, I don't know how many Kenyans are having his same, grievance, but even as we're speaking now, let's take a look at the recommendations you would give, because now the bikers are watching keenly. You've really called out the people in the vehicles and and of course the authorities. But someone would ask,
even
don't
bikers.
we have...
Even bikers.
Yeah, so we should go step by step.
Yes.
You want to speak to each category.
Yes.
Maybe one or two things they would want to incorporate to ensure that we achieve road safety. That will bring us down to where attitude now begins. Yeah, because that's where I think the problem has now, sprout from.
Okay. You saw the other day, there's this BBC investigative piece.
Yes. We saw road killers.
Yes. How easy it is to get a matatu on the road, how easy it is to get a driving license, etc. And I don't want to do this. But Kenya, we have one problem.
Okay.
Again, I want to use alcoholism as an example. Kenyan drivers in all categories, a big number, I don't use words like majority or what. A big number are like alcoholics. Alcoholics, the disease makes you selfish. It's me. You do things without considering the consequence or pain you are causing to others. Kenya is a state generally, everything is always us versus them. And we create all kinds of us versus them scenarios, okay? When there's crackdown on matatus, even Mishuki's crackdown, Kenyans supported when they went on strike.
Yes.
Okay? And Kenyan said, Bwana Mishuki, may he rest in peace, usilegeze kamba. We will walk. But these people, how many people are matatus killing on a daily basis? And when people say majority of crimes are what? Go to police headquarters. All these crime reports come to Vigilance House. Where are our journalists, my fellow journalists? Go there. I used to do crime beat. You go there, you show your press card, you get all the details from all over Kenya, which crimes were happened where and so on and so forth.
Yes.
So we just talk generally. Now, this thing has come. Now it is us and us, let's say Gava, against bikers. But it's not that Gava coming now against bikers. Guys in private cars, all other vehicles have been against bikers. I don't know, they feel bad, they're stuck in traffic, and that's where passing. I don't know. Okay?
Maybe they'll tell us today.
Yes. But this thing, as I said, we're like policemen. Riding is supposed to be fun. That's why I ride. Some people prefer cars. Some people prefer old cars, restoring cars, bikes, whatever the case may be, pimping up your whatever, as we call them. When the ban came on Nissans,
yes.
No graffiti and what, so that it's easy to spot. If you see some things just come which make no sense. If everything is painted white with a yellow stripe, and an incident happens and the vehicle doesn't stop, and you ask me, it's like the proverbial, it was a white car. When somebody is assassinated, it was a white car. How many white cars are there? But if I'm able to say it had graffiti of Devo God, Then we know that one is K, whatever, whatever. Apart from the fact, this is a very unique thing to Kenyan public transport service. Apart from giving jobs to thousands of youth who use their artistic, that's the talent I have. You know, I can paint, you know, nice graffiti and what?
Yes.
On a vehicle.
Yes.
And so on and so forth. So we need to just get away from us versus them, things you don't understand. NTSA comes up tomorrow and says, no riding for ladies or anybody, but mainly aimed at ladies, sitting sideways. We call it side saddle. It even has a name. Go to a dictionary.
All right.
Now, if we go back even to before there were motor vehicles, when there was horse riding, when women were riding, why would women, British women, ride sideways? Because they were wearing long Victorian skirts at the time. Why do a lot of these motorcycles which come from India and other Arab countries, they have sari guards on the wheel so that your long dress or your sari or whatever doesn't get pulled into the spokes, which will then pull you off the bike.
I think Dereva Chula Maisha Jr. said that as well.
And some people are just comfortable. Now, if I'm wearing a buibui, how do you want me to sit? Or I'm not supposed to take a bike. So let us, if I am buying that Range Rover, if I can afford that Prado, hallelujah. There are some people who cut a cake because they have bought a bicycle. Finally, I can move where I want, when I want, and I'm carrying my spouse. Yes. That is the family vehicle. I'm carrying my girlfriend. Okay. That is how we go to church. Or I bought a motorcycle. Shida yako ni? Am I a child of a lesser God? I can't enter CBD. And then, so why aren't we allowed to enter CBD? Or we enter a mall and you are told park there, like now it's raining.
Yes.
And cars are parking near the entrance.
Yes.
Okay? Somebody comes with a Boda Boda, a lady or a guy is doing shopping of 5K. I've come with a vehicle, a huge vehicle, occupying a lot of space to buy a packet of milk and a loaf of bread. Who is your priority?
All right.
Okay?
All right.
Why this discrimination? And it's because people don't understand. Okay? And at some point, until other road users learn to respect us, because I cannot be every time I leave my house to destination wherever, it is terror. It is every day for me and other bikers is Forest Road for that lady, every day. Why? Why should I go through that? I bought the bike, I paid money, it was taxed, everything is taxed. The petrol I buy, maybe I'm even using more petrol than a vehicle guy. It's taxed. I pay my tax as a citizen. So why the harassment? I have the same right. Pedestrians have the same right.
Yes.
Why can't we just be a bit courteous? Stop for pedestrians. Let people cross. Don't come making an old lady run because you are coming at full. Where are you going? The car in front after the zebra is there. There's nowhere you are going. Why are you coming to terrorize this lady? And when you drive courteously, now let's talk about driving. It becomes a very pleasant experience. My volunteers are aware, okay? But many times I give somebody a lift and they really wonder, my friend, Kwani, you've just come from abroad.
Oh, they don't think it would be Kenyan?
I ask why. No, the way you are driving, you stop to let people in, you stop to let people cross, you let even matatus come in. And I say, yes, I don't want blood pressure. Let them come in. He's coming in, he's going opposite. Even if he's going this way, one more car. If I let in one, the car behind me lets in one. The one, people don't understand the term gridlock. Gridlock means I refuse to let this one in. They pile back down there to the roundabout all the way this way. Nobody moves.
So that's a lot of gridlock that happens on our Kenya roads in the CBD every day.
No, not even on the highways.
All right.
Even on the highways. Simply because there's no courtesy. Me first, and I'm not looking at you. Okay, sorry. I've stopped here in front of you. There's a car in front of me. Me, I'm going this way. Why are you blocking? Why didn't you just leave that space? I go. Now, this will back up all the way to where you are going. None of us moves. People coming out of side roads, how do you expect them to come in? Yes, they're also in a hurry.
They are?
Like you.
Okay.
But if we were all courteous, let in one or two, move. The guy behind lets in one or two. Tomorrow you're the one coming from here. Tomorrow you've packed your big Range Rover or whatever it is. You want to cross a road to go where you are going. Nobody's stopping for you. Then you start saying, how do Kenyans drive? Road safety, road courtesy starts with you and I. In fact, for dude riders, we say, come and see Mimi, Nani. If not me, who? And that one came from, you are driving this way. Then I'm saying, no, I'm in a hurry. I'm going to the studio. I'm late. Do not transpose your lateness into bad driving.
Okay, that's
so,
powerful.
In fact, when you are in a hurry, that is when you should drive slowly.
Is it?
When you are in a hurry, when you are late, those are the 2 times where you definitely need to drive slowly and concentrate on the road. Next time, you'll wake up early. So it came from, I'm going this way, somebody wants to turn in, okay? There's traffic in my direction. All I needed to do was stop for 2-3 seconds, they go in, okay? But I say, no, I'm in a hurry. So I come, I say the guy behind. And then I'm looking in my rear view, and the guy behind doesn't stop. And the guy behind doesn't stop. Because all of us are saying, no, the guy behind will stop. And right down like now, when I'm way ahead, a few minutes later is when I see somebody finally letting them in. So if I had stopped, come and see Mimi. If not me, then who? If I say the guy behind, he'll also say the guy behind. And so it starts with me.
Even as you're speaking, I'm looking at the authorities doing the best they can in number one, decongesting the traffic, where the problem would really just be in the mindset and the attitude, because you're talking about gridlocking in areas where I think infrastructure every time being improved in Kenya, including the restrictions into the CBD, the terminuses that we're seeing that are being put up. It's just to try and get rid of one of these things that you've said that is still, sprouting from just behavior.
It's behavior.
The crackdowns is
still
behavior.
We were supposed to get, you see, what people forget, PSV vehicles.
Yes.
Yes, they are PSV.
Yes, they are.
But they do not mean public service vehicles.
All
They
right.
are actually private service vehicles. These are individuals.
All right.
And that is why the fellow has to make a certain amount of money for the boss, before the owner of the vehicle, before he now starts making his own money. And bring my good friend Kimutai, who used to stay in the same, I know him. Simon Kimutai, Matatu Owners Association, Dixon Bogwa.
We will bring them.
They will say the same sound bites. No, our members. I'm saying, even coming here, how do you find Hurlingham Shopping Center buses? And I don't want to take you far, Thika Road, Outer Ring, Jogo, just here nearby, here, this road coming here, Hurlingham here, Adams Arcade. You see buses, this is single lane each side. It's not a highway. And it's shopping area, residential area. Buses overlap. There's a vehicle coming. So 2 buses are now on this lane. Traffic cannot move down. So as I said, you will see them sitting and saying, no, our members are very whatever. If we were enforcing the SACCO issue, you do that, you ground the whole SACCO.
All right.
The SACCO members, this is how it's supposed to work.
Okay.
The conductor will report a rogue driver. Okay? And vice versa. Because he doesn't want everybody grounded, then they all have no money. They have no food to take home. So everybody, that's how SACCOs are supposed to work. And we were talking about hailing these vehicles which are hailed. Okay? A lot of them, to me, are like Boda Boda guys. Just go around a field 3 times, and then you are going to carry people. Just look at how they drive. And this is a cross-border, not a particular company. They also go, they are PSVs, but they're private. So a guy is going very slowly, causing a huge jam behind him, because he's either trying to get directions, so he's not concentrating on the road, and they're always on their phones, just like Matatu drivers always have their hands out the elbow, outside the window, driving at top speed. I think it was, I can't remember which year, one of the prizes I won, Journalist of the Year, was on Matatus.
Amazing. The
time they killed this lady who had come from Sharks Ward. So I did a story including a sidebar talking about a subculture. A subculture is a culture within a culture.
Yes.
So before Matatu touts were looked at as, scum. You can't read, school, you know. Then they changed the outfits and the what and the etc. Night became impregnating schoolgirls. Guess what? Which has now moved to Boda Boda guys,
Yes.
that tag etc. But story of another time. So bottom line, they change. Fancy clothes, matatus have the latest music. You're even late, it's raining, but there's a particular matatu. Let us let the youth enjoy their youth. But with limits.
With limits.
So what is the law allowing somebody to drive a PSV vehicle? For how long should somebody have been driving? Number two, these guys are going to continue driving on pavements, overlapping, doing what? As long as we have no public transport, then everybody wants to bring their vehicle in, because even when you enter that public transport, you say, let me just go, okay? They take another route to avoid jam, and if you don't like, you're saying, but I'm going that way. They tell you, get off very rudely, and there's a lot of bullying. And who throws people? Have you heard of a Boda Boda rider throwing off their passenger from the Boda Boda? But every day we are hearing being thrown from matatus. Okay. Have you had people being kidnapped on Boda? You see, when we are saying crime, Boda Bodas, have you had people being kidnapped with Boda Bodas? But cars every day, including last week, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So we need a total, laws are there.
Yes, they are there.
Good laws are there.
Yes.
And if we did our work, we need to do another program on police, because police is now vilified.
We have been doing our best.
Vilified,
yes,
and we are vilifying the wrong person.
All right.
They are overwhelmed, under-equipped, understaffed, etc.
Right.
That is why you'll find a policeman telling me, see you go. But I'm saying, but the light is red.
All right.
We need to change the mindset.
All right.
And before that, borders, as long as people will keep disrespecting us, I will repeat, I am not advocating for violence.
Please
but
do not.
You saw what happened when somebody talked badly about Will Smith's wife.
All right, I think we're going to leave it at that, but he's trying to, channel some information out today on Arrive Alive. It's a food for thought for all of us who, of course, use those roads, and that includes yourself, me, him, all the camera crew members, of course, the production team members, and the authorities watching this particular hour, including, of course, our president, the vice president. Everyone uses the roads at some point in time. You're a pedestrian today, you're driving tomorrow, you're a biker the next day, you're a pillion the next day. Have you tried each of these experiences and fit in those shoes? Maybe we'd see where to start from. It's probably not everything else you're putting in place. It's in the mindset.
Sorry.
As we close.
Just 5 seconds.
If it's up 5 seconds,
yes.
And of course with that you can also close the show for us.
Okay, through because what we are talking about, attitude change, is behavior change. So we are coming up with a program through Kenya Association of Professional Counselors for Boda Bodas, which takes up how it's very easy, like drugs. You just tell people, just say no. If you don't show them how to say no, it's useless. So same we are saying attitude for everybody, as we're starting with borders. Because it's the latest. Borders came as a blessing. Now it's turning out to be a curse.
A menace.
So we've come out with something to do mass so that we get this required behavior. As I always say, the government is not a person. The government is you and I.
Yeah. All right, and for that, I'm going to challenge our guest today. I know you know him as a very serious personality. I'll challenge him today to close the show with me. And that makes you my guest co-host in a minute. So maybe that way you can close the Arrive Alive with that camera right there with your own words.
Which camera?
This works. Yes, please.
So to all road users, that starts from pedestrians to the biggest vehicle on the road, let's forget this us versus them narrative. If you are a bigger person, in other words, you are in a trailer, a bigger vehicle, please just be mature. We need to be mature on the road. There's no use putting somebody in a wheelchair or in a coffin. It won't cost you anything. And that one we can start today, this minute. Let in one or two, signal when you are turning. Drive at the correct speeds. We don't, the government can't do this for us. They've already put the speeds, they've put the bumps, they've put the what. Do we really need them? It's just us. Today when you are driving, think about the other person. I am bigger than them. Let me not tailgate. Let me not be too close. And for Boda Boda guys, or bikers, please look for your nearest Huduma center, your ID, a phone number registered in your name, and your KRA. Go and get your digital driving license.
And remember, this is a message of love. You're watching the Arrive Alive segment on hashtag The Morning Drift. Please put them into action, what you have picked here. Pick what works for you and ensure that this message doesn't stay with you. Please share it as much as you can, because sharing is caring, and we are talking about caring for the roads and then sharing those roads. Until tomorrow for the same segment, stay safe, stay aware, be alert, be the defensive driver, and be mature one.